Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexios here. Wednesday morning, we're playing the Miami Heat on a snowy day in Toronto. More snow on the ground as I get up this morning. There's just a bunch of snow outside. This will be our third game with the Miami Heat. The rubber match. We've won one, they've won one. This will be the third game. So let's see who can get the advantage in the series going forward with the Miami Heat. And I'm going to tell you, there's injuries on both sides. There's a lot of injuries tonight on both sides. There's a referee crew that is not good. And yeah, let's do it, baby. Yeah, let's get into this preview. Monique is saying, again, let's hope we can hold Lowry and bully Butler to 15 points. This would be nice. I mean, really, all right, Miami, they're in a similar place where they were when we last saw them. They have won more since, but they're still the same kind of like personnel and smallness and like not very much of a roster of a lot of guys that are capable in some ways. They very, very shallow bench. They rely so much on Adebayo, Butler, and Lowry that they're so important. And there's, listen, Tyler Hero didn't even come to Canada tonight. So we're not going to see Tyler Hero tonight. And he's not the only one we're not going to see tonight. In fact, I just saw their injury report, and Bam Adebayo is now listed on their injury report tonight. He is day to day. There's no real reason or rhyme or reason. I did not see him on the injury report last night when I went to bed. And this morning I get up and it says that Bam Adebayo is day to day. I'm not sure exactly what he's suffering from or whether he may have a little bit of what Giannis had last year about playing the Raptors. And recently he's getting a lot of like praise, Bam, for being a two-way player as far as like he's a very good defensive player. And I agree with that. And then on the offensive end, he's been waking up a little bit lately. So he's been getting lauded as a very complete kind of player. This sounds like somebody on our team that's looking more like a complete player in the absence of some of our guys that are missing, which, you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Anunoby. All right, let's just go over the Miami injuries since there are quite a few. I'm not going to lie. Dwayne Dedmon is also questionable for tonight. It is his foot. So him and Bam are in kind of the same boat. Meanwhile, a lot of guys did not make the trip to Canada. Included in that list are Udonis Haslem and Tyler Hero and Omar Yurtseven. These guys are not here, and neither is Victor Oladipo. So they're missing Haslem, Hero, Yurtseven, and Oladipo for sure will not be at the game tonight. And then there's a possibility that Bam and Dedmon may not play also. So there's your injury report for the Heat. Let's look at our side because we do know that there are things to talk about from our side of the ball. Also, obviously, Pascal and Precious are still out for tonight. Otto is already ruled out for tonight. You know, he actually dislocated his toe in his left foot. That is the injury he's dealing with from the Detroit game on Monday. So he will miss tonight for sure. And meanwhile, Gary and Fred are both questionable. It's Gary's hip, which is weird because it was his shin listed on Monday. I don't know what they're doing there with Gary, but he needs to show up tonight. Fred is also listed as illness is the reason why he's out. So this is the weird thing. Fred's been out for illness for like 4 days already. Sometimes illness is not this long. It can be very quick. And hopefully Freddie will be back tonight. I really want to see Fred and Gary out on the court tonight against Miami because this will really, really help us. Monique's saying, Tom Duke's saying, good morning. After another big test for our depleted squad, no worries, but Heat have had a good past week at home. In Miami, they've won 3 straight. Yeah, they've won a couple games in a row now. They're actually even. They're 7-7. Which they've fought really hard to get to the 500 level in their season so far because they have been behind and chasing it for a while. Back when we saw them, they were 1-3 by the time we were finished with them. We had given them their first win of the season, and that sucks. And that really was a trap game because we had to travel from Brooklyn, and I hate that. I hate that so much. But, the win streak they're on, they just played the Charlotte Hornets twice in Miami 2 games in a row, a 2-game set, and they beat them in both the games. But also, Charlotte's really bad, guys. So I don't put a whole lot of weight into that. And then they beat Phoenix in their last game on Monday night. And this game was weird because the Phoenix Suns only shot. This is the game where the team only got 4 free throw attempts, and the whole entire game was the Phoenix Suns on Monday against the Miami Heat. And there's a lot of grumblings that the referees were very, very favoring the Miami Heat in this game. In fact, there's a pattern of this right now where opposing teams are coming to Miami and they're complaining that the referees are very, very upfront favoring the Miami Heat right now. The fact that the Suns, who got to really far last year and they got a really good record, is not getting respect, and they only get 4 free throws in a game against them on Monday night. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. Now, along those lines, talking about their schedule recently, there's 2 Charlotte games. Sure, they beat them, and then they got a close one against Phoenix. They just barely beat Phoenix by 1 point, and this really could have been shaped by ref manipulation, for sure. And I think Phoenix might have a gripe. But the 2 games before, they played Indiana and Portland, and we've seen Indiana late recently, and Indiana kicked their ass. Well, actually, they only beat them by 2 points. But yeah, they beat them, and then Portland has beat them too recently. So they're, I don't know. It's weird. And Miami's gone and taken care of some of their West Coast games already. They played Golden State twice already and split the series with the Warriors. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how it is tonight. I'll have the keys to victory as we go here. But yeah, I don't know. Miami's coming here. We're actually, like, in some ways, this isn't like the first home game back because the Detroit game really was like a home game back, and it's so close to Toronto that it's like they came back on for Monday night. They probably had a really relaxing day yesterday. Hopefully, a very productive day for what they need to do, whether recoup, reheal, get better, do tape, whatever they needed to do yesterday, coming back to Toronto. And then hopefully they'll have a good energy tonight and seeing Kyle Lowry in the Miami Heat. So we'll have to see. Monique saying, I can't wait for the day they call up Ron Harper Jr. from 905, another career high, 29 points. That's right. Ron was the man yesterday in the 905's victory over the Greensboro Swarm yesterday morning, which was fun to watch. Watch the second half after the Raptor Freak live stream yesterday. And you see Ron playing pretty good. I really like what Reggie Perry was doing out there in that game. I really, really like Reggie Perry and what he's doing. I think that he is somebody that we really like. Last year, I was kept thinking, man, maybe we could use him on the main roster in some ways. But he has even more experience and kind of veteran kind of feels about him in the 905 games recently. I really like what Reggie Perry is doing. And then, there's other guys on that level that are interesting, and they're kind of doing interesting things. But really, the only one down there right now that I'm really super interested in is Reggie Perry. Ron's good, and he's going to get his time up on the big squad, but he really needs more time down there. He's not going to be doing a whole lot on the NBA level this year. I'm very positive about this, but he'll get his little tastes here and there. But I think he's really is the two-way that's going to get sent and be at 905 way more often than being on the main roster. But he should be there with them today, maybe. I don't know. That's part of what they say is Ron Harper's assigned to 905 today. And it may be just a numbers thing that like they can't have both him and Doughton on the active roster tonight, and that Ron's just going to stick active on the 905 roster. But who knows? Because they're in town, and maybe we have so many injuries. Maybe they do have Ron in a Raptors jersey tonight and available to come into the game. We'll have to see, Monique. You're going to the game. Have fun tonight. Be loud. Have fun. Say hi to all your friends, and maybe you'll see Scotty coming out of the practice court again. I saw your picture, Monique. Did he stop and talk to you? Because it seemed like, he was coming right out there. I know he had his headphones on, and you got there so early. That's what I'm saying, Monique. When you get to the game really early, magic happens sometimes. And you do run into players or other crazy Raptors personalities around the team. So get down there early again today, especially with all the snow on the ground. You don't want to have to depend on your ride to get down there and you're running late because of bad traffic due to the weather. So Monique, get there early. You might see Scotty or somebody again. Tom Duke saying, Mo, you are so right to be excited about Ron. Looks fantastic. It's a pedigree. Pedigree. That's right. He really is tooting his own horn pretty strong though on his Instagram right now, which is good. It's fine. He's excited and he's had a little bit of a rough week. So yeah, it's good to see Ron happy and like celebrating a great victory yesterday, and him being the leader and all of his friends supporting him and showing up and putting him on blast. It's good. Let's see. Seymour's here. Let's go, Raptors. Yes, Seymour Pape. I agree with you. Let's go. Let's beat the Miami Heat tonight. Monique is saying, feel good about tonight. Stay focused, young bench mob, regardless. You know, it's weird. When I look at this game and I think about this team that Miami has last night, the thing that really should be scaring people is their big players, is Bam, Jimmy, and Kyle. But for some reason, they don't scare me as much as they may scare other teams. And maybe it's partly because we know Kyle really well. And Jimmy, we've had success against, even though he is such a baller and he's so dangerous and he does so many crazy things. Now, Bam is somebody who doesn't like playing the Raptors. That's just evident. You can tell, like, he does not have good games against us very more often than not recently, because his stats look less than what he would normally put up against other NBA teams. So maybe him being day to day today is a little bit of a symbol that Bam doesn't really like playing the Raptors. And that, that you really got to start your scouting report on them with that. And then the second part is those secondary players like Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, who's not there. So we don't have to worry about him. And he's probably the most dangerous out of those guys. The 3-point shooters. That there's so much of their offense is like dependent on their 3-point shooting, getting open and hitting shots. That if we can really, really not, I know I say this and it's a broken record whenever we play the Miami Heat, but it's so, so important. Their 3-point shooting and stopping it and really trying to like make them shoot poorly from the three-point line. So this is something we need to try and do tonight is really watch them around the 3-point line and not let somebody like Max Strus drop like 20 to 30 points just because we were having trouble finding him out there on defense. And that is very, very important. So that to me, I'm sure we can neutralize Bam if he shows up. If he's slightly hurt and whatever, we can neutralize him. Now, Jimmy, you never can neutralize him. You're going to have to let Jimmy get his. And Kyle, he's a wild card. We know Kyle. Kyle's Kyle, and he's more the other Kyle these days than the Kyle that we used to know. And the other Kyle is the Kyle that is, kind of smiles, goofing around, having a good time, and, not always looking exactly good on the court. So we'll have to see. I don't know. Kyle may come in with killer instinct and say, this is my old team. I love them, but I want to kill them. And we might see some of that. I really hope Fred suits up because that is part of the allure of this matchup is Grasshopper versus his teacher from before. And Lowry versus Van Vliet is just entertaining to watch because in some ways those guys kind of like will have fun. And it's a tough matchup in some ways for Fred, but in some ways it's also a kind of a fun matchup because it's Lowry and it's not Maxey. It's not like Jaden Ivey. It's Lowry, and that's a good matchup for Fred in some ways. And in Heat games in the last year or so, there really has been there was that one game they played against each other because Lowry didn't play in a bunch of the games with us last year. But there really was a duel where Fred kind of was dueling with Kyle, and that's just entertainment. That's entertainment to see good friends who love each other battle. And just, that it's the spirit of competition and that they really are just having fun in some ways at the very basic like level, that it's just fun to be playing against each other. So I really, really hope Fred's ready to play and that we get the Fred versus Kyle matchup tonight. Really, really do hope. Let's see. Paul Beast just finished yesterday's episode. Let's beat the Heat tonight. No Kalo. Love fest needed. Just win. Yeah, we're going to give him the love fest. It's going to be there, Paul B. It's just mandatory. He is still the standing GOAT, and we need to give him his just due love in all kinds of different ways. In fact, he really does show these signs of being a turncoat for Miami and still being on the down low, a secret agent for us. And I can put that out there because it just pisses off Miami fan because they probably think this on the down low in some ways. And if there's a Raptor guy like me out here putting content out, yeah, he's still one of us. They probably start second guessing this, and then they start worrying and wondering about him, and then their whole fan nation gets in a tizzy about Kyle Lowry and where his allegiances are and stuff like that. Like yesterday, he posted on his Instagram, "I'm home." And he's like posting the Canadian flag, and he's in Canada. He said, "I'm back home. I'm home." And some people may interpret that in different ways from Miami Heat Nation. So you go ahead, Kyle. You look like a double agent. You and Serge look like double agents right now. The way you guys are acting with the Raptors franchise and Love as champions from our franchise, you guys look a little double agency, kind of like, what you doing? How hungry are you? Asking Giannis that question. And then Kyle Lowry, very, very much in love with the city of Toronto still, for sure. He is. Let's see. Seymour Pape saying, Jaylen Brown calling out Joe Tsai. What's your take on the situation? I'm not totally positive what has been said and why. I know that Jaylen Brown has been very critical of the people that are critical of Kyrie and the different things that are happening in society. Of course, he has a personal connection to Kanye. He was a part of that Donda Academy that has gotten shut down recently. So maybe Jaylen Brown is on the fringe, somewhere on the spectrum with Kyrie and Kanye West. I'm not saying that he is like an anti-Semite, but he is kind of in that friend group of people that he may be like trying to stand up for his friends is what it is, really. Like him and Kyrie are probably still cool to a degree, and that he's coming after the owner for what they're making Kyrie do to jump through hoops to keep his career. Now Kyrie's doing everything. I don't understand why Jaylen Brown's talking shit right now, because Kyrie is complying. He has met with Adam Silver. He's met with Joe Tsai and his wife. And he's been passing all of the levels of his stuff that he has to do to be reintroduced as a player on the Nets. So I don't know, Jaylen Brown, you go ahead and speak your opinions, but it is what it is. And he's right to a degree. All these big companies are shitty, and his opinion's kind of right, Jaylen Brown. But also, it's like, what's the timing? Why even now? Because like Kyrie's jumping through the hoops, and he's on his way to try and reclaim his team, his career. Now, the thing that's crazy is the Nets have been doing very well without Kyrie. In some ways, they may be better without him. I know that sounds crazy, and people would be like, what? How can they be better without him? Well, some of the stats are showing it right now. In his absence during this suspension, the Nets have been rolling a little bit better than them. So it's an interesting situation. I know it's kind of just gotten resolved in some ways. It's got to be, there's a process. He's got maybe a couple more he's got to check off. And then boom, he's going to be back, and he's going to be playing for the Nets because they really do want him back. And he's kissing the asses he has to kiss to get back, basically, is what's happening now. Seymour saying exactly to Paul. Awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Isaac Campbell saying 905 really do go to Reggie Perry down the stretch of games. They really do use Reggie, and he is like their steady guy, and he does so many good things on that court. As far as he blocks shots, he hits threes, he's rebounding, doing defensive rebounds, and just like getting important baskets when we really need them. Philip's here. Morning, Raptor Freak. Let's get a W tonight. Yes, Philip, I am with you on this. We need this. We don't want to go back to 500. We're one game above 500 right now. We want to get some movement on that. In fact, I've told myself, all right, we have 14 games in November. That means if we win 7 of them, we'll be 500 exactly. I wanted to get 8. Now we've only won 4 so far this month, so that means we need to win 4 more games out of the 6 that we have left. So it really is like we can only lose 2 games for us to have a winning month of November to close out this month. And some of these games are difficult. This Miami game may be one of the easier to get out of them, and that sounds crazy with recent past of what Miami is and the battles we've had. But we're playing big time teams. Like we play Dallas again. We're going to play Cleveland again very soon. We're going to play Brooklyn again very soon. And this Miami team may be kind of one of the I'm not going to say easier, less difficult. Let's just put it that way. Less difficult of the rest of them. So hopefully we can get that W tonight and not get charmed by Kyle like we did in the game I went to in April this year, where he was just a love fest for Kyle, like you said. Paul B. No love fest for him. No special ceremony. No like big things on the screen. Just he comes in, we cheer him, and they play the game, and then maybe we boo the Miami Heat after that. Especially Caleb Martin. Let's not forget this. Caleb Martin is going to be in our arena tonight, and Raptor fans need to let him know. Even though he is apologetic and stuff like that, maybe we give him just a little bit. But he is a known goon, and he's been doing goon stuff for a while. Cool Cat is saying, good morning, Raptor Free crew. Time to beat the GROAT. We need to take the baton. I saw Scotty coming from the practice court this season. Was still shocked how long he is up close. He was focused, though. No smiling. Yeah. That's the thing. There's a lot of criticism. There's weird things that people are saying about Scotty. And one of the things is his enthusiasm, that he needs to get that love and that passion for the sport and the smiles and just excitement. The get up every morning out of bed, jump out of bed and launch yourself into your day, kind of like exuberance about his lifestyle playing in the NBA. It could very well be he's worn down and he's tired. That in some ways he's tired, and that it's hard for him to have that kind of really like joyful kind of like woo. One of the things he said this summer that's interesting is that when he talks or he's doing things, it takes away from his energy on the court. Like if he has to talk to the refs after a shot and he's trying to get back or something like that. So it's really got to watch your energy and not put it like lose your breath by talking too much on the court, because if you talk to the refs too much, you could actually lose some energy just because you're talking so much to them. So I want him to just focus and really work on what he's doing on the court, minute by minute or second by second, and just do what he does, like where he enjoys himself and he's trying to make the best winning play next action. And when he does that, he succeeds. And that's maybe what he needs to do is like kind of turn his head off and just go with his instinct and just say, okay, this is what I do in this moment with my instinct. I go on and do this, and maybe get out of his head. If he's feeling fatigued and tired more, they need to cut his minutes and give him more rest time, because he's getting into places where he just can't keep up or keep the energy right on the defense or something like that. I don't know. We really watch him, Nick Nurse, and try and get the best out of Scotty somehow, some way. Let's see. Monique saying Gabe Brown will get a call up from the other team soon. Enough 6 threes. Happy for the kid. That's the other person I should have mentioned. You're right. Gabe Brown was on fire. I really like him as a player, maybe to come up too, because he does shoot really well. He was dead eye with the 3-pointers yesterday for the 905 against Greensboro. And Gabe Brown, I think he's going to be an NBA player down the road. He's got the right body type, the size, and the fact that he's a really good shooter is not going to hurt his chances of making like a more regular NBA career eventually. So I have a prediction for him that he is going to successfully transfer out of the G League into becoming a pro down the road. That may not happen this year or next year, but I think in like the next 2 or 3 years, Gabe Brown is going to be a full NBA player. Watch, because he's very good, and he's just got to get his name out there and some consistency, and boom, somebody's going to want him on their team. Trust me, if it's not us, somebody's going to come and get him. Seymour saying, I can't stand Gabe Vincent. The trash all year. He's trash all year, but shows up against us. Shaking my head. Gabe Vincent. Yeah. Well, let's look at their roster with who's healthy and who is not there. So they're going to probably be starting Kyle, Jimmy, Caleb Martin. Let's just assume that Bam is not playing. Then that means they may go with a really weird lineup where they go Kyle, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, and Duncan Robinson. Something like that. Or maybe it's Kyle, Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, and Duncan Robinson, because they really don't have a center at this point. So they might have to play if Bam's not there. If Bam isn't playing tonight, they're going to play Duncan Robinson at center because they don't got Udonis. They probably won't have Dedmon, although Dedmon could show up too. So if they don't have either of those guys, they're going to be very, very small. They're already very small this year. And this may be why Bam doesn't want to play this game against the Raptors, because he knows he's going to be the only big out there battling all of our bigs. So this is a really important way for us to win, is to bully the hell out of them. We need to really bully the hell out of the Heat, because they really are smaller than us. We can pound them down low in the points in the paint and get some really easy baskets down there. So I think that this is a way to go, is bully the hell out of them, because they are small. They lost the Morris brother. They lost PJ Tucker. If Bam's hurt tonight, if Dedmon's hurt tonight, Haslam didn't cross the board. He doesn't play anyway, old ass Haslam. So it's like, who are the big guys? Duncan Robinson? Is that going to be your big guy tonight? Yurt Seven's hurt. He's not going to be playing tonight. So who is their big guy? If Bam is not going to play tonight, who are they going to have that's big? And we have all these big guys. That's one of the luxuries with Vision 6'9". I was thinking about this the other day. We have so many injuries right now that normally when you have so many injuries, your team loses certain qualities. And one of the first ones to go for a team can be their size, can be their ability to like defend down low. Like what happened with Oklahoma City the other night, that was a really bad game where we didn't defend down low right. Well, because of our makeup of our team, we have Vision 6'9". We have so many big dudes. We don't go smaller. Like, that's the really cool thing about our roster build, is that no matter how many guys are gone, we still have the same imposing size against the other team because all of our dudes are so big. So I really like that, because in the past, injuries could really hurt a team in that way, where they don't have any size and they can be really capitalized on and beat up because they're missing like one or two of their big men and they don't have enough big men. Well, this is kind of what's going on with Miami if they don't have Bam or Dedmon tonight, is that they don't have any big men after them on their roster. So this could be really a key thing to see whether Bam Adebayo plays tonight. Obviously, he's very important to their team. And it may be even more important with the Raptors than, so it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like Gabe Vincent either. He's cocky. And I just don't like any of their Miami secondary guys. I like Lowry and I like Butler. And the rest of the team can go fuck itself, basically how I feel. Randall Phillips here. Good on this game day. I'm shouting blessings upon all our Raptor freaks. May we get this win with the returning reinforcements. I hope you are right, that we do have returning reinforcements, and their names are Fred and Gary. I really, really do hope this. At least let's get Fred back. Even if Gary doesn't suit up tonight, I'd love to see Fred back. We just need another extra reinforcement, as you put it. It's very much. And thank you for the blessings, Randolph Phillips, and blessings back to you and the Phillips family. Seymour saying good morning to Randolph. Paul saying, I'm all about Secret Agent Lowry, but that return victory still is bittersweet. You were there. I heard it made you sick. The crowd made me sick. I got COVID. I got COVID at that Kyle Lowry Love Fest in April. Yeah. It was fun though. And it was, it was a historic kind of thing. It was kind of nice. It was good to welcome him back. After all we've been through the last couple of years of the pandemic, it was a nice little thing. It was a little bit kind of worth getting COVID, I guess. But at that time I was like, I went to this game, we lost, and I got COVID. I felt like it sucked. Seymour saying Clippers Nation pulling out their hair right now. Kawhi calling it quits. Whoa, wait. I didn't see anything about Kawhi. I'm going to have to go see the news on this. Yeah, of course. They're really frustrated with him. Just imagine we could have had all this frustration with him instead if he'd chose to stay here. So in a way, we won the Kawhi sweepstakes. Cool Cat saying Jaylen Brown is speaking in the capacity of the vice president of the NBA Players Association. He has to speak on behalf of Kyrie or any other player that the association need him to speak on behalf. Okay, well, that is a good aspect of it too. Is I know that Kyrie was involved in the Players Association also, but Jaylen Brown is just speaking out, and that totally makes sense that he's got to have their perspective. But also realize his connections. That he had to cut ties with Kanye recently against what he wanted to do. He did not want to cut ties with Kyrie. I mean, not Kyrie, Kanye, with the Donda Academy and the friendship. There were pictures of him this summer with Kanye, just really happy and buddy, life is good. And then boom, Kanye's life goes to shit. And Jaylen Brown's is affected on the periphery of Kanye's life. So there's a little bit of personal interest in what has happened with Kyrie and him standing up for him because of his connection to Kanye West. So that's a big part of it also. It's not just that he's in the Player Association. And I don't know. Jalen's not really espousing any weird controversial views. He's just coming to the defense and maybe kind of shots fired on Joe Tsai a little bit of shots fired on him. And I mean, it's true. They're like one of the things that they're critical about is like, oh, Adidas is the company's getting all high and mighty and judgmental of Kanye for what he said when their history as a company and where the origins of that company come from and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, you know what the fuck? It's like, but still, I mean, listen, Kanye West getting what he's getting is deserved. The thing is that some people are trying to say he's mentally ill, but he's not. He's just a fucking clown. He's an idiot, and he's very dangerous. And the things that he's doing, what he's saying, he really is a puppet for hateful, bad people right now at this point. And he's just too stupid to realize that he's a casualty of them pushing their agenda through him, and that now he's losing everything himself. And that's his own damn fault for pushing an agenda that he probably shouldn't have. For people that he probably, he didn't need to be around Candace Owens recently. Basically, she brought him down. Candace Owens brought Kanye West down with some brainwashing and stupid shit she put in his head. And then he parroted it around. And he has a bigger platform where more people listen than she does because she's really kind of irrelevant. And now all of a sudden, boom, she's helped him ruin his life, basically. So you can blame Candace Owens for this whole mess in a lot of ways. Let's see. Monique is saying after the 23rd game versus the Nets, we are totally on the road. Man, it's crazy, insane. Well, listen, I want to get us back to this road warrior mentality. There's something about the season we have done very well at home, and I love this. Tonight we defend our home. We are 5-1 at home. We want to make that record continue to be very, very good. So we want to defend the North. Defend the North against old Kyle Lowry, who used to defend the North with us. So, yeah, this is good. We need to continue with the great stuff at home because it's kind of opposite of some of the years recently where we couldn't win at home, but we won everything on the road. Well, now we're not winning as much on the road, but we are winning at home. So we got to defend the North tonight. And then we'll see how things go on that road trip you're talking about, Monique. It's going to be very interesting. Some of the road trips this year are very arduous and long. There's 2 very long road trips this season, and we're going to get one of them near the end of this month. Let's see. Patrick Douglas is here. Kyrie, Jaylen, and Kanye are not anti-Jewish or anti-Semite. Too heavy a topic to do it justice here. Scotty is a kid. Welcome to the work world. He will be fine. We have his back. Let him feel it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've talked about this a lot, Patrick Douglas, the situation and the distinction that you're trying to make about they're not really anti-Semites. It's just that they endorsed anti-Semitic material. And that's the difference. They don't actually have these beliefs. And Kyrie is a nice guy. He's an omniist, as he puts it, which is all love for everyone. And he really, put that foot forward, Kyrie. That's the right one. And you're doing it now. And that's really good. We do this topic all the time, and we can do it justice here. Trust me, because I've looked at both sides. I'm not against Kyrie completely in what he's saying. And in fact, I'm not totally for how the NBA is being so heavy-handed with him right now. I don't agree with big entities, big companies being forceful and forcing behavior of people. I don't like that. I don't like that in general. But in some cases, it's important that the employee, he's an employee. He's not somebody other than that. He's an employee of the Brooklyn Nets. He reflects on the Brooklyn Nets. And this is an employer having the rights to discipline an employee that represents their company in that way. I agree with that part of it. I do not agree with some of the heavy-handedness and just like, oh, he just posted a link. But maybe he shouldn't have posted that link in the first place. So we've talked about this a lot, Patrick. Trust me. You can go back a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about this for like 45 minutes, and we really covered all sides of it. So we are looking at it from their perspective also. But I can see where it's gotten to this point, and it didn't have to get this point. The Kyrie could have walked it back a little early on in this, and it wouldn't have even gotten to this point. He wasn't going to win in this situation either way. If he was looking at it as, oh, I'll win this situation, you were not going to win this situation. Trust me, Kyrie. You're not going to win this situation. A lot of people are fed up with you from your vaccine stuff from last year and just your knuckleheadedness and like promoting dumb shit like Flat Earth and MAGA, different dumb stuff that are kind of like borderline QAnon. So It's tough, but I don't like the strong arming the NBA that like it's like really like totalitarian in some ways. I don't like that aspect of it. So both sides are wrong to a degree. And the way it's getting worked out isn't totally nice in some ways. I agree with that. And it kind of controlling. Cool Cat said first year Scotty was an excited kid by new experiences in NBA. Year two, he's maturing as a player and a young man. We just have to embrace the journey as he evolves. Range, OG, to Pascal personality, laugh out loud. Yeah, we got to just let him go through his flow as he's going to go on the court. Is he going to have a really big game tonight? Who knows? He might have a huge game tonight because it's Miami and it's a team that was in his market when he was growing up as a kid. And there may be something about that for him to get up for the game tonight against the Heat. It may be that he's hearing some of the noise that's going on. He may have something to prove tonight. Maybe he'll be very motivated to score tonight. Maybe the Heat are a good team for him to get his back to the basket with one of them behind him, and he's just scoring on them, bullying them in the low post. Let's hope for this. I'd love to see Scotty get at least double digits, if not around 20 points. So it'll just shut some of the noise up that's going on these days. Paul B saying, watch out for the flu. My entire workplace got it. No COVID positive test, but everybody felt dead for a day or two, literally. It really is going around. There's a huge problem here in Ontario with school kids being sick and everybody's sick. And this is part of the reason why they're going to try and go back to a mask mandate in Ontario. And this isn't even Justin Trudeau's mask mandate for people who are against mandates. This is Doug Ford's mask mandate. So if you're going to get upset about mandates, direct your anger to Mr. Ford this time because he's the one who's going to push this on the people who are anti-masking and freedom people. Get mad at Doug Ford this time because he's the one who's going to be doing this to y'all. If y'all have to wear a mask indoors and it's ordained in the province of Ontario, well, you're going to have to blame Doug Ford for that because he's taking the advice of the health people. And I agree with it that if numbers and people are getting so sick and there's just too many people getting sick right now, put the mask back on. It's a minor inconvenience and it may save lives. And y'all thinking, oh, I want to take a stand on this hill. I'm just freedom and freedom. Okay, you're freedom. You want to be free to be an asshole? Go ahead. Be free to be an asshole. Meanwhile, we'll be carrying people that care about others and are outside of just our own individual selfish mindset. And we will look out for the vulnerable, the people that are in danger, while you can just be yourself and be all freedom loving and putting them in danger, possibly yourself. You go ahead and do that. That's fine. But I'm for freedom too, but I'm also for science and smartness and intelligence. And if intelligence is telling me I need to put a mask on when I'm at the grocery store, I'm gonna fucking put a mask on when I'm at the grocery store. So that's kind of where I stand with it. I know that some people are going to be very upset if they tell us we need to put masks on again, and they may not want to do it. And well, freedom of choice. You go ahead. I'll give you that freedom. But that's part of the freedom is choosing to wear the mask because you do care about other people in society. So there you go. I'm free to do that. So that's part of the freedom people I don't understand. Like if I understand you don't want to wear the mask, but when you give dirty looks to people that are wearing masks around you, you're over impeding on my freedom to choose to wear the mask. So if you're really for freedom, then you should be telling, oh, I give you the freedom to wear the mask if you want to, instead of coming at me and calling me a sheep. So there you go. You want to walk the walk and say you're all about freedom? I want to have the freedom to choose to wear the mask, freedom people. So there you go. Whoa, giving one to them. All right, let's see. Sue saying, good morning, everyone. Game day, people. Let's go. Game day, Sue. That's right. Miami Heat. Let's get them. Yeah. The real mascot matchup's going to be interesting today. Just wait till you hear what's going to happen on that. Nameless is saying, good morning, my beautiful people. I love you all. See, look at this beautiful in the heart. And just, he called me beautiful. No one's called me beautiful for a long time. No, just kidding. All right. Hey, there's a little bit of acting chops there. All right, let's see. Monique saying, hi, Nameless and Sue. Hi, Monique. Seymour saying, hi, Sue and Nameless. Hi, Seymour. Sue is saying, my friend had an extra ticket for tonight's game, so I'm going. That's awesome, Sue. I hope your knee's okay. I know that you have that ACL right now, but yeah, go and have fun. Enjoy it. Hey, Mo, message me later on and tell me where you're going to be, and I will try and meet up with you before the game. Awesome. Sue, go link up with Monique like we did that time when we went to the game and get a picture and say what's up to us. And That's awesome. I love that. Maybe I'll even, if you guys can get the picture to me of you guys together at the game, maybe I'll use you guys for the stream picture for tomorrow. Monique, if you want, if you can do that and send it to me on Facebook through the message, either one of y'all, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to put you guys on blast for the reaction stream tomorrow. If you guys get a picture together tonight, boom, put it and send it to me on Facebook, and I'll use it for the stream picture. All right, let's see. Sue's saying good morning, Mo and Seymour. Good morning, Sue. Callie's saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. Scotty will have a big game tonight. Ooh, Callie's feeling it. Callie's feeling Scotty is going to show up tonight and be a big time player for us. Big four, be great tonight. Go ahead and shut some of the critics up. Go ahead, get some get back against your old team from down south, the 561. Go ahead and show something good against Miami Heat, the team that you saw on television when you were a little kid. And now you get to beat them, get the opportunity to go and beat them. Seymour saying good morning to Callie. I hope your stress meter's not that high tonight, Callie, and that we could just get a good victory over the Miami Heat and protect our home court. Toronto Yardy's here. So what's the Raptors lineup going to look like tonight? All right, let me speculate on this. Good question, Toronto Yardy. I like that. Let's assume that we get Fred back. But let's assume if we don't have any of them back, let's just assume none of the guys that are available that are hurt are available. Fred and Gary. Now I'm hoping that we'll get at least Fred. Now if we get Fred, obviously it'll be Fred, OG, Scotty, Thaddeus, and maybe Delano again. I don't know. Maybe they'll want to go with a really crazy point guard lineup with Delano just because of how well he played in the last game. But this is interesting because Otto was in the starting lineup in the last one, and he's hurt. He's definitely not going to play tonight. So they are gonna have to elevate another person. So it could be something like, all right, what if Fred's not playing? We'll play Delano, OG, Scotty, Thad, and Christian. Something like that. We may go along the lines of the guys that we have been starting recently. And it may be really smart to start a really super huge lineup against the Miami Heat tonight, who will look small to us. They're going to look small compared to us, even with Bam and Dwayne Dedmon around. They're going to look small to us. So maybe we do double down and get like a very mobile big like Christian, put him in the center with that at power forward. And this crazy thing is that it shifts everybody down. It really makes Delano and Scotty the guards with OG at the small forward. And that is kind of a cool, overpowering kind of like lineup. So maybe it's Delano, Barnes, Banton Barnes, an Anunoby, Young, and Koloko is the starting lineup tonight. Now, if Fred comes back, put Koloko on the bench or maybe Delano on the bench. And then you got that lineup, Fred, Barnes, an Anunoby, Young, and Koloko, maybe something like that. And if Gary and Fred come back, well, then you got like Gary, Fred, Scotty, OG, and Thaddeus or something like that. Maybe that's the starting lineup. So there's a couple of the different, depending on who shows up tonight. And I'm hoping we get both Gary and Fred tonight. But if Fred is just the only one we get back or just Gary, that's fine. I want at least one of them back, if not both of them back. We need all hands on deck. We really, really do. Nameless is saying, I love Jewish people. I love all people. I take from all cultures around the world, and it made me a superhuman. Woo! Nameless. Are you like have ascended to a transcendental state of deity? You figured it all out, and it all is one, and one is love. And now you have transcended, and you are above it all, and you are now just the essence and embodiment of love, energy. I love this, Nameless. So many people have tried to get to that point in their lives through deep, heavy meditation and all kinds of different things like monkdom in the middle of the mountains in Asia, whatever they try to do to get to this. I'm glad you've accomplished this. This is awesome. I love it. Isaac Campbell saying congrats to the Nets, whose defense gave up 153 points last night, honoring the Sacramento Kings. Steve Nash like offensive production. Yeah, I saw that score last night. And I was like, whoa, 150 points by the Sacramento Kings. Fantastic stuff. And yeah, Kevin's not going to need help. They're shopping Joe Harris right now, too. It's really weird. I saw a little news blurb saying that the Nets are trying to trade Joe Harris, that he's available for other teams. If they want Joe Harris, they can get him. So it's really crazy. Yeah, Seymour's laughing at Isaac. Yeah, that was pretty silly and pretty bad by whatchamacallit, by the Nets. They don't have a good defense, so that's part of it. Monique saying, "Will do, Sue, for sure." Scotty's mom probably is in the building. I always think of Kyle's mom these days. Yeah, I hope that Kyle's mom's okay, and that isn't the reason why he's having personal problems. We want Mrs. Holloway to be great and be happy and good. And I don't know if Scotty's mom is up here for this game. I mean, she might want to be down in Florida with this white stuff coming down like crazy here in Toronto today. Paul B saying Adriana needs to call the freak beautiful. Well, it's just not. That's not normally the term she gives to me that are endearing. That was just really some silly moment that I saw an opportunity to be silly, and that's all that was. Cool Cat saying, "Yeah, I miss Kyle's mom. Yeah, we do. Marie, whatever. I hope you're okay. I hope that you're happy, and I hope that if you are watching the game tonight, that I know you're rooting for your son, but I know that you have a very special place in your heart for the Raptors also, and that you do root for Fred and everybody also." When they're not playing Miami. That's your team. I know that. I know that Miss Holloway is that way. All right, let's see. Mason saying, "Hey Lex, what's good? Raptor Freak Nation. Raptors win, and now next test Heat. Yeah, let's get the win tonight. This is an interesting game tonight. Let me do the refs real quick, guys. The refs are not good refs for us tonight, and it sucks and does kind of smack of maybe of a ref hit job tonight. Our main ref tonight is John Goebel. John Goebel is from Miami. He is from Miami. He was born in Miami. He went to Miami High School. He went to college at Florida International University, which is in Miami. This man is Miami all over him. So we got a Miami ref as our crew chief against Miami tonight. So, I never liked that. And this is the thing. There's the Goebel brothers. There's two of them. We've seen Jason already this season. This Goebel is not the Goebel that is nice to us. Jason Goebel is way nicer to us than John Goebel. And John Goebel, let's look at his record with us. We win 48.2% of our games against him. That's just above our franchise mark of wins. And it's not very good, honestly. But the Heat, look at this. They win 54.2% of their games when John Goebel is refereeing. So that's very much in favor of the Miami Heat, that crew chief, and he is literally from Miami. So that I don't like that. I just don't like that. Now, John Goebel's favorite movie is The Godfather. He likes hip hop, salsa, and reggaeton music. His favorite meal is, and this is very specific, y'all. His favorite meal, like this is if he was on death row and he was getting his last meal, this is what he would be getting: a skirt steak with black beans and rice and fried plantains. Very, very specific. So that Goebel, I don't like Goebel. The other Goebel's a little bit okay, but this Goebel is not. The second ref is the most senior ref on the crew. It's Michael Smith. And Michael Smith is in that category with Tony Brothers, Pat Frayer, Benny Adams, Rodney Mott, Ed Malloy. He's in that same little group, James Capers. We win 47% of our games when Michael Smith's around. He's a 30-year vet. He's like really old vet ref. He's one of the oldest refs in the league, Michael Smith. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat win 54.5% of their games when he is present as a ref. So both the senior refs favor the Miami Heat statistically in a very big way. One of them's from Miami, and then the other one very much favors the Miami Heat, the 30-year vet Michael Smith. So Michael Smith is from Tennessee. He's from Memphis. He likes the movie Training Day, so he's a big fan of Denzel. Again, his favorite musician is Charlie Wilson. His favorite app is ESPN. His bucket list is to go skydiving, and his favorite meal. This is so silly. Like, I guess he didn't understand the question, but his favorite meal is dinner. And I don't know that. Okay, but what do you want? Dinner. Okay, but what do you want? Dinner. Michael Smith. We're just going to bring you some fucking pancakes. That's what we're going to bring you, Michael Smith, since you just said dinner. Oh, wait, that's breakfast, though. All right, fine. We won't bring you pancakes. We'll bring you special French dinner dessert crepes. Okay, they're not pancakes. They're crepes that you would have for dessert after your dinner. Okay, all right, because it's dinner time is what time it is for Michael Smith. Oh my gosh. Third ref is the least experienced ref, and he's the only one that favors us. He's in his sixth season. It's Matt Myers. He's from St. Louis, Missouri. He lives in Washington now. His favorite show is The Wire. He likes The Shawshank Redemption as a movie. His favorite musician is Jay-Z. His hidden talent is golf. And his favorite meal, and this is, I love this. His favorite meal is buffalo wings. That's right. This guy's a wings man. He loves wings. And we know the Raptors got the best wing selection menu in the league right now. You want some buffalo wings, some great buffalo wings. Matt Myers. Well, we got the Scotty Barnes original buffalo wings, the most popular wing flavor you can get in the world. We got the OG Ananobi plain wing, no sauce on it, no spice, no heat, just plain wings, just plain original wings, OG wings. We got some. Let me see. What else do we got on the menu right now? We got some teriyaki Thaddeus wings. Yeah, teriyaki wings, Thad wings, teriyaki wings. We got, normally we would have some other, we have the Spanish Polo Adobe wings with Hernan Gomez. You like a Spanish pepper wing? So good. We got a lot of wings, Matt Myers, for you to hopefully give good calls to tonight on the court. So Matt Myers is our third ref, and his stats with us are the best. We win 2 out of 3 times when he's on the court, just right down the middle, 66.7%. And meanwhile, he's very much nice to the Miami Heat too, though. They win 62.5% when he refs them. So really, the ref crew favors Miami 2 out of 3. And the third ref is the low man on the totem pole. He's not going to be very much the guy who's in charge. So we got to watch out for Goebel. Goebel is somebody I don't like tonight, and hopefully he doesn't do anything sketchy, because some things that are happening in games with the Miami Heat recently are very much showing favoritism from the NBA towards the Miami Heat franchise in particular. It could very well be that they have some investment in them being better than they are already this season, and they're trying to help them and get their record up in helping them. And that may be the reason why Phoenix Suns only shot 4 free throws on Monday, is that the refs are seriously trying to help the Heat get their record right. So, because it is television stuff. It is the kind of thing where they don't want this team to be a shitty team all year, because they have them in games on national television. And they need them to be at least kind of a winning team. They can't be too Seward. So, yeah, I don't like the ref crew tonight. John Goebel, Michael Smith, and Matt Myers. Yeah, I don't really like this ref crew. All right, let's see. Nameless is saying, see, people that hate on others for any given thing do not realize that they themselves are actually all the things, and that duality is a misconception, a mind trick. We are waves in a body of water. Damn, you're like getting real metaphysical, transcendental, really deep shit. You're laying on us this morning, Nameless. I don't know what you've been doing in the last 24 hours. Maybe you have been meditating in a hot sweat lodge or something like that. I don't know what's going on with you, man. But you are finding the keys and the secrets to the world and life in general with what you're saying right here, because this is so much an absolute truth and a reality of the world, and the way it is exactly what you're saying. Everything you see in someone else is something in you. Everything that bugs you about somebody else is something that bugs you about yourself on the down low. That's the weird thing. Sometimes your anger and what you get upset about is a window to things about yourself. And that if you're in touch with it, you can really, really utilize it for self-improvement. So, yeah, it's a very interesting conversation going on with Nameless today. Very much so, with the cowboy hat and the little picture. It says, Callie saying, Sue and Mo. Yeah, hopefully you guys are at the game together and have a nice time. Get a good picture, send it to me. Monique saying, a new episode of What I Wear with Precious, thanks to Uninterrupted, coming soon. Yeah, Precious is doing some with Holt Renfrew again this season. He did some stuff last year, a little bit of content, kind of really promoting clothes. It's very Serge Ibaka, OG Anunoby kind of stuff, where he's just putting on his fashion. And, a little extra Raptors content doesn't hurt. People love getting their Raptors content. There's all kinds of Raptors content out there in all kinds of different ways all the time. And Precious, yeah, he has his Holt Renfrew advertising campaign continuing for him. Shane saying, if Bam is out, I think they should start Thad. If Bam is in, I think they should start Koloko. That's an interesting what we should do with this. So if Bam is in, he thinks that we should play Koloko, and then if he's out, we should play Thaddeus. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? We're gonna have to see. And it's gonna be interesting to see how Koloko plays tonight. Is he gonna have it? Not that he had anything like upset with them about what happened. In fact, he didn't even understand why Caleb Martin came after him. But there very well could be some sort of weird like Koloko gets up for this game because of a little bit of the in the series against them in Miami already this season, then maybe Koloko has a little fire. And then maybe Nick will understand this and he'd be like, you know what? I'm going to start Christian tonight because maybe Christian has some get back that he wants to get back still and put it in the effort in the game. So who knows? It's going to be very interesting to see who starts. And that was a fantastic question by Yardy to ask that because it is really in flux and weird. And we won't find out. We'll find out things about Fred and Gary as the day goes on. And we'll find out whether they're ruled out or they are going to suit up. And I really want to see them suit up because they help. Don't get me wrong. Neither we want both of them in uniform and playing tonight because they will help us have a better chance to win. Both of them. One of them shows up, that'll help. If both of them shows up, that'll help even more. G saying Nets are now frustrated with Ben. That organization and front office just needs to constantly blame someone and not look at themselves. With Ben, oh, Ben Simmons. I was like, Ben, oh yeah, I forgot. Ben Simmons is on that team. Of course they're frustrated with them. They just got a lot of problems. And part of the problems with the Nets and the Knicks aren't the franchises, they're the fans. They're just so vicious. And with the press media, and they're so critical. Like the way we are with our team, a lot of New York fans are that way with their teams. Hypercritical, on top of every little thing, whining and crying about every little thing, picking everything apart. There's a lot of that in the New York fan base and the media too piles on this. In fact, those media people don't care if the teams are good. They love it when the teams are bad because they can write all kinds of crazy ass shit about them. And yeah, I mean, all right, the pointing fingers and all that kind of stuff. I bet a lot of it is generated from the fans themselves. It's easy to see where a fan would be frustrated with Ben Simmons when they look at the trade they just did to get Ben Simmons from Philadelphia and they look and see what Harden has done on the other way, going the other way for the other team. Is that really fair? What was happening? I mean, y'all did get Seth Curry and Andre Drummond also in that deal at that time. So I don't know. I mean, James Harden they won that deal. It looks like Philadelphia won that deal, at least right now, because James Harden is very, very much done really good things for Philadelphia since that trade. Meanwhile, Ben has barely showed up. So I can understand where they may be a little frustrated with this. They lost that trade, honestly, last season. Phillips saying former Raptor Terrence Davis II put up 31 points for the Kings last night. Pretty sure he came in off the bench for someone who got injured. Yeah, I have a couple of Kings on my fantasy team, and they didn't play super well in the game last night. Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes. So I was wondering who the hell made all that production for the Kings to beat the Nets like that. And when I go look at it, let's go look at this box score for them real quick. Yeah, Herder, 19 points in the starting lineup, but Terrence Davis came off the bench, was a plus 35. He absolutely destroyed the Nets by himself. Holy crap. Terrence had 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block, and he shot 12 of 16 from the field for 31 points, 7 of 10 from 3. You know what? This is a win for us, y'all, because that's a Raptors draft pick, y'all. Look at where he is now. We may not have been able to keep him around because of some bad press and bad things that he probably did. So we're not getting the spoils of this, but it is kind of nice to see a Raptors draft pick, somebody that we drafted, doing something like this at this point in their career, dropping 31 points off the bench and destroying Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets last night. You go, Terrence Davis. Helping the Raptors still, even though you're on the Sacramento Kings at this point. This helps us the way you beat down the Nets last night. Thank you, Terrence. And we can take a little bit of a win. That's a Bobby Webster win. He drafted Terrence Davis, and he saw that he would be a guy that could do this someday off the bench. There you go. Cool Cat saying, holy shit, we are fucked by the refs tonight. Schedule L, then. I don't know if it's a scheduled L. We're just going to have to, once again, overcome it all, whether it's the injuries, the referees, whatever it is. We just got to overcome it and be that much better than it all. I don't want to paint totally a negative picture about it, but this is just the truth. That John Goble is from Miami, and he does favor the Miami Heat. and that'll be tough to overcome. Now, Michael Smith's the 30-year vet. He hasn't been around. He's been around the league for so long because he is a pretty good vet and ref. So we'll have to see. Michael Smith has been fair to us at times. It's just that the older refs have a really bad record with us, and he has a better record for Miami. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I may be ringing the alarm too early and maybe chicken littling them, and maybe they will be a very good crew and be fine. But there is a little bit of signs that they could possibly be a difficult crew for us tonight. And if there is some sort of NBA initiative to help the Heat right their record, it may be shown tonight in this game. So we'll have to really pay attention to them and really, really watch the calls and why they called this and when and momentum. What's happening in the game, swinging with momentum. Maybe they call something then to stop us from getting going. So really pay attention to this tonight. We'll have to see. Hot Take Jay is here. Hot Take Jay coming in ready to light up the Heat tonight. And Fred still needs an apology. Y'all, apologize to Fred if you've been talking shit about Fred. Fred is El Capitan. He's the twin. He's our dude. He is Steady Freddy, and we miss him. We need him on the court right away. And Hot Take Jay is right. Hot Take Jay coming in fast, coming in strong, coming in hot, and coming in quick. Yeah, thank you, Hot Take Jay. Paul B is saying, has anyone seen this neat-looking, retro-looking Raptors jersey with our current players by Casey Bannerman? Looks like a cool fan project. Casey Bannerman, in some ways, is not a fan project at this point. This man's been making these jerseys for years. And he does. He does like a comic book style of the player on the jersey. And it's just, they're just fire. In fact, he's the one who reached out to the Raptors and said, maybe you should let me design your next City Edition jersey. Well, I don't know if he got their ear or something, but he said something about stay tuned on his Twitter recently. So maybe they listened to him, and it could be very well that the next City Edition jersey for next year is going to be produced by Casey Bannerman. I think that would be a big W by the Raptors and be very smart. Now, what can he do in the parameters of what the design can be within on an NBA court? I don't think you can have big cartoon pictures of guys on the jersey. But I'm sure he could come up with a really cool design that fits the parameters of what the NBA requires for NBA jerseys. I don't think we can have Scotty dunking on Vucevic on the front of the jerseys, which would be fun. It would be fun, especially if we're like Rick Rude, the wrestler. You guys know Rick Rude back in the day, ravishing Rick Rude. Well, it was really cool. He had these tights where he would like spray paint like people's faces on his tights. And he was this guy who was like a Magic Mike kind of guy, a stripper. And he'd come out and he'd be like, hey, all you sweat hog dirt bags. This is what a real man looks like. And take a look, all you ladies. And he'd do his little gyration. And he'd have like Jake the Snake's wife on his crotch, on his tights, you know. And the art was done by Mad Magazine artist Sam Vivano, which was awesome because it was like I'd see Mad Magazine art on this wrestler's tights. And he'd get like the Ultimate Warrior and he'd put him on his ass. He was on Regis and Kathy Lee at one point, and he put Regis and Kathy Lee on his tights. He had like Kathy Lee on his crotch and Regis on his butt. Well, what if we did this? What if we got Casey Bannerman to make us jerseys for every game? Like tonight, maybe we'd have some sort of weird Kyle Lowry or some sort of image. Like maybe it's something where we did something crazy, like dunked on them. Like maybe it's a Scotty dunk on the Miami Heat, and that's this jersey we're wearing against them, and it just shows a dunk of us dunking on them. Kind of like Rick Rude style with the tights, something like that. Every game we just put somebody from their team, like the Vucevic thing. We play Chicago the next time, and we have a jersey with Scotty cocking that joint back and banging on them, basically. Raymond Jacob, all right, yeah, let's go. All right, let me see. Monique saying, hey, Lex, thanks for tempting me to try Osmos 3 weeks ago. Not bad at all. Really? I did some work like Norman Powell did to get you on the Osmos train. Monique, why didn't you go try it when Norman was telling you to? I mean, I'm susceptible to the Raptors telling me about foodstuffs. I mean, this is very effective advertising for me. Scotty says I should go try Bowlway. I'm going to go try Bowlway. And I have. I have tried Bowlway because of Scott being in those commercials now. So it's very smart by Subway to have him as a spokesperson. And it's really dumb. Some people on the West Coast are idiots. They're like, why am I seeing a Toronto Raptor in my Subway commercials out there? Well, you fucking dumbass idiots out in BC. They're wondering why Scotty is on commercials out there when he's a Toronto Raptor and you don't like Toronto or the sports of Toronto. Some of you West Coasters are like that. They're anti Toronto and they don't understand why Toronto Raptor stuff gets put on blast in their market. Well, you are our market, motherfucker. You're in Canada. The whole fucking country is our market. So just because you're out in BC and you hate the city of Toronto, you're our market. I'm sorry, you're in Canada, and this Subway is nationwide. Subway has paying Scott a lot of money probably to represent them. They want to get their money's worth. They're going to put his commercial on out in British Columbia because it'll be very effective. You can ask Tom Duke. He was standing outside of that bus in Victoria at the open practice when they got off that bus and they treated them like the Beatles, yelling and screaming at them. So maybe some people out there are like, why is Scotty Barnes on my TV? He's a Toronto player on a Toronto team. But a lot of people out there are like, Scotty Barnes. We love the Raptors. We love Scotty Barnes. So I don't know. Some people are weird what they complain about. You know, if there's a Leaf player or there's some other hockey player that's like really big and like a kind of level like excitement, like Scotty Barnes, they would put him on blast across the country, like somebody like Connor McDavid. So it's like, come on, just because he plays for a Toronto team, you don't want him on your TV in your market? Y'all are crazy, some of y'all West Coast people. And how much you hate Toronto. I know Tom Duke's not like that. I know Joseph Starks isn't like that. And I know Shane Waters isn't like that. There's a lot of people out West that aren't like that. But I found these people on Twitter complaining about Scotty being on their TV in a Subway commercial. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Raymond Jacobs saying, obviously, Nameless is smoking a fatty of the devil's lettuce. Oh, Raymond Jacobs is he sees a transcendental mind, but he sees maybe he's been smoking some weed. That's why he's talking like this morning. Raymond Jacob knows because they're his customers. This is what happens with them. You go, Raymond Jacob. And I love your little plant that you put in there. That's pretty cool. G saying front office did that trade, though. They are taking no responsibility. You're talking about the Nets. Yeah. Well, they had to in some ways. They were in a bad situation with both people. And it was kind of like a bailout trade. You never want to make these bailout trades where you're just doing it because of some stupid problem and you're being forced to do it because it's something dumb. And teams never win on this. So yeah, Skater Dylan's laughing about that too. He's a Celtics fan. Yeah, we can laugh about the dumpster fire that the other two Atlantic Division teams are in with this dumbass trade with Harden and Simmons and how it's turned out for both sides. It's turned out pretty good for the Sixers so far. But he is hurt right now. Harden is not available to play right now. But he definitely I think they won that deal because Harden is really trying and doing stuff. And I don't know what Simmons is doing. He don't look like he's trying. Hey, maybe he can't try. It's just he's not able to at this point. Who knows? Laughing at Raymond. Yeah, that's pretty funny. It is probably what Nameless is doing. Nameless is laughing about it. That maybe he's got the giggles. Paul B saying the jersey is for sale now. I'd buy one, but money is a bit tight. The jersey is for sale now. Oh, you're talking about the Bannerman jerseys? Yeah, they're nice jerseys. He has some older ones with Fred on them that are just so fire. He's been doing this for a while. Like the Bannerman jerseys have been coming out for about 5 years or so. So there's even like DeMar stuff from way back. So check out Casey's backlog. I don't know how many of them he makes or puts out, and that may be part of the reason why they're expensive. Is that they're not mass produced. If you get one of Casey Bannerman's jersey, yeah, you're very, that's very much like a piece of art that you won't have. Like a lot of people won't have it. So in some ways, it's an investment. So if you want to get that Vucevic, Scotty Barnes jersey by Casey Bannerman, that may be worth some money eventually down the road if it's in good shape. All right, let's see. Mike's here. Salute real ones. Project Truth always. Respect, Mike. I watched your latest clip last night. Very interesting stuff, subject matter and stuff. And you just keep going, Mike. Your stuff is great. And I really appreciate your participation on this channel as well. So Logical Raptors Fanatic, check out his YouTube channel. And he's got a new one out. It's fantastic. I listened to it late last night. And I really enjoyed it, Mike. Monique saying, can we take a moment to applaud Eric Khoury? 4-1 start to start the season. No one expected this. I did. I expected this, Monique, because gosh darn it, we were in the Eastern Conference Finals of the G League last year, and we were a damn good team. And I felt like we upgraded our talent this year. and that we are supposed to be as good as last year, hopefully, because we upgraded our talent this year on our 905. If Koloko comes down there, we upgraded our talent. That's for damn sure. But we don't know if he's going to go down there at this point. But Reggie Perry coming back, guys coming back from last year, Obadiah Noel, Justin Champagny, these dudes, they really carry over some stuff from last year that we built already last year. David Johnson's another one that this is good, and that these dudes are building off of that already. That we're seeing that Raptor spirit of coming back from behind. We're seeing that great defensive energy and those kind of things by the 905. And yes, Khoury has been very successful so far, and we applaud you, and we're so proud of you, Eric Khoury. Keep going. Have a really good season and just kick a bunch of ass. Win both the seasons of the G League. That's what I want to see. That's a crazy goal to have. Win both of the seasons. Win this preseason part. It's not really preseason part, the tournament part right now, and then win the actual championship at the end of the year. Also, I want to put that on y'all 905. That's lofty goals. Tough to do. There's so many teams involved. Somebody's going to probably win one, and somebody will win the other. But I want to try and win both of them. Let's do that. Let's be the team in the end. 905 to be the team in the G League to win both of them. I want to see that this year. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Casey's latest jersey design is on sale today. Have black and purple. So fire. Better than Raptors' original jersey. Yeah, it's just good work. It's just good work. He's been a badass for a while. And, he's been a badass for a while. He is actually connected to Fred. Fred talks to him, and he designs stuff with Fred. And he sends Fred stuff as gifts to him. Like, you'll see Fred get a box from Casey, and he opens it up, and he's like, oh, this stuff's so good. And he's like, ooh, this is pretty. He's like holding it up. So yeah, Casey Bannerman is somebody that Fred VanVleet likes a lot in his designs. Callie saying, because this slow mode thing is on, I couldn't finish. Make some noise tonight, Sue and Mo. It's all right. I'll get to it. I'm sorry I put the slow down on it. It really is. I'm trying to cut down my times on the stream. And I figure if you guys can't comment as much. But Callie, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I hope they make a lot of noise. We get that picture and we get that W tonight for the Raptors. Mike's saying, sorry, I've been dealing with moving stuff or I would have been here at 9:20. Don't worry, Mike. You didn't do the countdown. Oh my gosh. But it's all good. Don't worry about it. You're moving. You're moving over in the 905. And I understand that. So you take care of what you got to take care of. That's what you got to do. Cool Cat saying, anybody tried Bowlway by Scotty Subway? I did. I tried it. I tried it very early on, and it's good. I like it because it's weird because, all right, Subway for a long time is like, we have salads too. Well, basically, they just fucking take all the toppings that they have for the sandwiches and you just put them in a bowl with no bread. And that's their salad. Well, the Bowlway is very similar to the salad in some ways. There's just one extra thing in the Bowlway. It's rice. So they just put rice in as a filler on top, and then they put a salad on top. That's Bowlway. That's basically what it is. Cool Cat, but it's good. I don't mind the rice being involved in a Subway thing. Man, you guys are making me want to get Bowlway today. I think that might be what I try and do is get Subway for the game tonight for good luck. Isaac saying it can be Scotty Barnes for City Boy edition jersey, but no returns allowed. Yeah, no returns. I don't know. We'll have to see City Boy edition. I like that. City Boys in the city and snowing. Yep, lots of snow on the ground out there. Holy crap. All right, let's do the real mascot matchup. Why not? Last time we saw the Raptor, he was dead on the side of the road. It's literally no heart. And this is real world. This is not like some fantastical anime world like last year. This is a very reality grounded Raptors mascot matchup world for this season. And he is literally laying on the side of a highway with his heart has stopped because he got struck by a thunder. And it zapped him. And then these people try to come and save him with a pacemaker machine, and it zapped them, and he still didn't come to life. And now there's this hot rod sitting next to him, these people in it, and they've grabbed him off the side of the road, and they're trying to desperately get him somewhere to save his life and bring him back to life. Well, they're hauling ass in this car with horsepower. The pistons are really working, and they get him somewhere, and they bring him into it, and they put him in the bed. And well, the Raptor is kind of coming to because they get him in the bed and he's kind of got some time to like recuperate. It may be like days, it may be weeks. They're kind of nursing him and trying to help him. It seems like it's a hospital. Well, guess what? Guess where he is again? That dragster, the people that were in that hot rod, that funny car, were people that were associated with Nurse Annette. Yes. So he is back in the sauna room from before where the people try to kill him by cranking up the heat. But the crazy thing is that they actually want to torture him. This is a crazy, sick real world that this raptor is living in. These people hate him so much because he's a weird raptor person that they just want to torture him and treat him horribly. Humankind has been awful to people different than them for a long, long time. And what Nameless is talking about today is very true. We are all one. But these people, they don't like him because he's different. He's a reptile, even though he's like a humanoid reptile, raptor being. He's an abomination to them. So they feel like they need to do bad things to him and torture him like an animal would be tortured in a lab by somebody doing like experiments for like cosmetics or something. So he is back in that sauna room with Nurse Annette and the Cavalier nurse. And he is strapped in that bed once again. He is very much right back where he started. And they have cranked the heat up on him again. What's going to happen in the real mascot matchup? Can he figure out how to get out of this predicament once again? Will he just chomp the thing and get out of there? I don't know. Maybe they put different steel kind of like binding to him to the bed this time. This is very scary. So will he get succumb to the heat from the sauna bedroom in that fake hospital with those fake nurses that are really awful people? This is like a horror story. This is a little bit like Saw. And yeah, we need the Raptor to be okay. So we'll find out next time. Real mascot matchup. Hopefully the Raptor will be all right. Let's find out tonight in the game. Yeah, there we go. Logical Raptors fanatic is got a car and it's zooming down the road. That's really good. You're speaking Tom's language. I like this. Tom's got the person in the bed. He's got the hospital. He's got the heat, and it's global warming. It looks like he's talking about global warming. And then he's got a bunch of Raptors. Go have dinner for supper. Yeah, Michael Smith. You want dinner? Let's say, what's your favorite food, Michael Smith? What's your favorite meal? Dinner. What the dinner? What is that question answer? You should be saying something like steak and lobster. You could have said anything, Michael Smith. It's like, okay, these guys are on death row. All three of these refs. They come to them and they say, what do you want your last meal to be? Matt Myers says, I want buffalo wings. I really love buffalo wings. Okay, we can get you buffalo wings. We'll even get you some celery and some carrots and some dip and everything. You can get the whole thing and even some Coca-Cola. Okay, what do you want, Goebel? It's your last meal. Skirt steak, black beans and rice and fried plantains. Wow, that's oddly specific. And yeah, we can get you all those things for sure. You get that, John Goebel. All right, for you, Mr. Smith, what would you like for your last meal? Dinner? What do you want though? Dinner? No, but tell us what you want. Dinner? All right, we are actually kind of a pretty good spot right now. I don't know how much I'm going to talk. You guys have got the comments here. We'll just do a review real quick. The injuries tonight are very plentiful. There's a lot of injuries on this game tonight, guys. We've got on the Miami Heat side, Udonis Haslem, Tyler Hero, Omar Yurt 7, and Victor Oladipo are all still stateside. They have not come across the border or even bothered to come over here. So they will not be playing tonight. That's Haslam, Hero, Yurt 7, and Oladipo. And then the guys that are kind of questionable for up and game time decisions are Dwayne Dedman and Bam Adebayo, two of their centers. They're only two centers, really, with Yurt 7 out. So this really may change the game plan and our chances to win if Bam is suited up to play tonight. Now, Dedman is whatever. Dedman comes in, Dedman is not there, whatever. Who cares? Now, on our side of the ball, we know we've had the issues. Pascal and Precious are out already. Otto is already out also. So we know we won't see those three guys, but we don't know yet about Gary and Fred. So stay tuned to understanding the news that comes out over the course of this afternoon before the game to whether Freddie and Gary are available tonight. I will update people that are on Facebook in the Facebook chat with me in the Raptor Freak Facebook chat. If you are on Facebook and you want to become a part of the Raptor Freak Facebook chat, I'll add you on Facebook. Just look me up under my name, Alexiotz, and tell me who you are from the channel if I'm not totally familiar with you, or if your name's different than what's on here. And then you can be added to the chat that I have that we all add to. Monique is on there, Paul B, Greg from Jubstown Clink, and we just add information as we find out about the Raptors. It's a really easy way to stay updated with the Raptors news by the minute. If you don't have time to kind of watch the Twitter updates from people like Josh Lewenberg that like I do. So if you want to do that, you can be in Facebook. So watch your Facebook today, this afternoon, for me updating the injuries for Fred, Gary, Bam, and Dwayne Dedman, because we don't know anything about all that stuff. Monique saying, let's not have a nail-wrenching tight one tonight, guys. Yeah, I mean, listen, we don't want Cali's stress meter to be super high. We want to cruise and have a good victory and just win. But, these Miami games, we know how they are, and we can't take this lightly. We really need to capitalize on our strengths, and that is strength and size and out-raptoring them. Once again, the Heat may try and out-raptor us with their defensive energy and just being generally annoying. That is really a battle that we need to win constantly. That's our calling card. That's who we are. We're the Raptors, and we have a style of play that we've been playing in the last year or so that we need to upkeep and keep it going on the court. So we need to out-Raptor them. They can't look more like the Raptors than us, and they shouldn't, because they're not going to have the size to match up with us. Sure, they have some gangster veteran talent with Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and that's very savvy leadership, and that's a strength. And they have strength in three-point shooting. We need to try and take away the strength of their three-point shooting by not letting them shoot very well, and then bullying them, out-rebounding them, getting more points in the paint, absolutely putting them on our backs and trying low post bully stuff like Scotty's been trying to do recently. Thad Young, he's another one. OG, these guys can bully them down near the basket. This will really help us to get the victory tonight. So it's going to be fun. Mike's saying, I'm not ready to dock myself yet. Going into an info war, not going to lie. Oh, okay. All right, Mike. You go in there. I wish you well, and I hope you kick their ass, because I know you're on the right side. Dylan saying, I'm loving how many viewers you're consistently getting on these streams, Lex. You are always very informative, very straightforward, and everyone who watches NBA basketball can come here and learn. I appreciate that, Dylan, and especially from somebody who's stateside, who does have you like the Raptors too. I know you're a Raptors fan also, but you are also a Celtics fan. So that kind of is really a big, huge compliment to me. And I really, really appreciate that. I don't take it lightly. And I appreciate that. I'm glad people find value in stupid things that come out of my mouth, whether they're silly or like serious and talking about seriously stuff. I really, really, that means a lot. Seriously. Paul B saying, I downloaded OG's Piston Slam and Barnes Vucevic Slam, wrote a list with the names and date. I'll try to keep track. Let me know if I miss any or have to add some. There are a couple of OG ones. I think there's one in the Oklahoma City game. There's more than one OG one. I think there's 2 or 3 so far this season where OG's just absolutely fantastic. So, Paul, you might want to find a couple more OG dunks. And there may be other dunks by other guys that are, there's some Precious dunks this year already, too. Early on in the season, Precious had some real nasty ones. You probably know what I'm talking about. So I know, to put as much work into that as you want. I know you did say you are taking a little bit of a break from work, so maybe you do have the time to just have fun and have a project like this a little bit for some of the time. I appreciate what you do, Paul. And it was really fun to do that with you last year. I think that was a really fun segment in the summer when we looked at your dunk clip and kind of reviewed the best dunks of the Raptors from last season. So I really appreciate this project, doing this with you. Sue saying, yes, we don't need Cali's stress level or any of our stress levels up tonight. Let's come out strong. That's right. That's right. You guys bring that good energy to the building. Boo Caleb Martin. Just be real loud and real energetic. And, let's show that we can do this at our home arena, not just in Detroit. All this stuff that the people from the Detroit fan nation are saying at this point is hilarious. Listen, this is my retort for the Pistons fan that's pissed off about how our crowd came and took your building the other night. You really don't want us to come do this? You guys need to support your team better. You guys need to buy up all the tickets. Y'all need really good season ticket holders where there's no tickets available. This is the thing. Y'all don't understand. Y'all's tickets are way cheaper than here in Toronto. And that one guy's saying, we don't want to let anybody come to the Detroit arena that's not within 50 miles of Detroit. Well, you're dumb. You live in Detroit. Do you realize what's within 50 miles of Detroit? Well, Ontario is. It's right across the river. So it's not like these people came real far. These people drove from their houses, drove across the border, went to y'all's arena, went to the game, and then they drove right across the border and went right back to their house, which is right across the river from y'all, across that bridge. And they're back home in Windsor. So it's like, I don't understand this. Like, this shows American idiots that just don't understand geography or the world. And they could even live in the city of Detroit and not be smart enough to understand that within 50 miles of you, there's a lot of Canadian people living very close to you that can have easy access to come across. And like a lot of these people are saying, the games here in Toronto are so expensive. If you're a Raptor fan in Southern Ontario and you want to go to a Raptor game for cheap, Detroit is a great option. And that is why we are overtaking your building, and we will do it every time. Until y'all do this, y'all get a good fan base that's as passionate about your team as we are. And in some ways, you're outnumbered. There's no way you can win this. You have your fan base in Michigan around Detroit. Sure, you may have Detroit fans sprinkled all around in different ways. We have the whole fucking country of Canada. And there are a lot of Raptor fans in Windsor. There's a lot of Raptor fans in Sarnia. And these are communities that are not far from Detroit in any kind of way. And it's very easy for them to jump the border and go to a cheaper Raptors game experience. In fact, the way I was hearing about the tickets, I'm like, damn, I need to go to Detroit for the next game because seems really cheap. And it would be a fun little field trip to go over there and get that experience in their building of Raptors home court B. So yeah, you're not going to fix this. And freezing us out, well, does your team want to make money? Do the Pistons want to have a good bottom line? Well, they're going to sell those tickets to the Raptors fans. So if you hate it so much, Pistons freak and your fan nation, get them to wake up and go support the team better and freeze us out by not having so many tickets available. And that's just the pure truth of it. That's just how it is. There ain't nothing going to change about this until y'all get your fans a little bit better for supporting them. Because we're going to come over there and the owner of the Pistons is going to take our money and be very, very happy to do that. Trust me, they will. All right, let's see. You guys have written some more. Let's see. Dizzy David. I'm gonna call you Dizzy David because there's a couple of Davids here. Saying, haven't tried the Subway bowl, cool cat, but had a smiling Scotty watching me while I ate my sub the other day. He was there? Oh, you mean he was on the wall? He was in an advertisement. I'm so glad Scotty got such a good bag. Like, Subway is a great company for him to represent. He could represent some bad food. That's fairly healthy food. Like, he could be representing like food that's just not good for you. Subway's it's not the best, but it's not totally garbage fast food. And like I said, it's really fun to him as from being a kid and eating Subway his whole life that he now is a spokesperson. He's in their commercials. That's so surreal to him. It is so weird. He has to pinch himself that he's in Subway commercials and he's getting paid by them to be in the commercials. So it's awesome. Tom Duke's saying, that's exciting, Paul. Let's freaking go. Yes, Tom wants to see this dunk highlights. He wants to see what it's all about. He's got the going on. Nameless saying, Precious has a few nasty jams. He really does. He has a certain level he elevates to, and then there's just like a real torque in his arm, like a power. It's just like, it's just really strong and just really impressive. The combination of the lift and the strength all in one. Ooh, look out. Precious is deadly. Mike saying, Paul B. Kanono's dunk was solid. Hawks or Bulls game when he came through the lane at full speed. Okay, yeah, Koloko might have him. It's not as interesting when Koloko dunks because he should just be able to reach up and just put the ball through the basket with his crazy-ass arms. Cowboys here. Good morning. Ta-da. For your home needs, you need the carpet clean. You need your windows washed. You need something done around the house. Brothers Tada, they're in the phone book in the 416. Good morning, Lex. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. And let's go. Raymond Jacobs saying, y'all seen Precious's video on Uninterrupted? Raptors' new fashionista. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. He's doing like a Holt Renfrew like collaboration. He did it last year. Had a couple pieces of content that came out with him talking about clothes and doing like the very much like Serge kind of fashionista stuff. Fashionista. Sounds like they would have a gun. You fashionista, get away from me, fashionista. I'll shoot you. Fashionista. Paul B saying, other big moments so far I should keep track of. Coloco 6 blocks versus Bulls. Well, you should just do the dunks unless you want to put more workload on you and do like fantastic blocks. I think you should just stick to the dunks. It's a lot of work, and I don't want you to go too crazy with this. Just do the dunks. The blocks would be fun, but don't do it, Paul. Only if you really want to, because there are a lot of cool dunks too. But a lot of cool blocks. But just do the dunks. Just do the dunks. Cool Cat's wondering how you get to download those dunk videos. How you get to do it? Well, Paul B works in television. He actually works in television production, and he's very astute with doing this kind of stuff, editing and different things like that. So this is in his wheelhouse. And that's why I've actually asked him to do stuff to help me out in the past year. He's the one who's helping me convert my Scotty Barnes Twitch shout outs to being able to put them on YouTube. And I really appreciate you helping me with that, Paul, this past year. And hopefully maybe we'll get some more clips. But Scotty doesn't want me to clip him out of his Twitch anymore. He's told me that. He's told all of us not to clip him anymore. Let's see. Mike's saying Kanono at full speed and throws it down looks different because he's notably faster. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see, we'll see what Paul's at his discretion, because he did a really good job figuring out what the best dunks were last year. I just trust his judgment. He'll find them and he'll put them in a good compilation for us as the season goes. Monique saying, when Precious returns, do you think he can dunk normally? I hope so. He should be able to. It's just his ankle, right? I think he'll be fine. That may be part of what he needs to be able to do before he gets back. Can you dunk normally, Precious? Okay, you can play. Paul B saying, just saving random YouTube videos. I don't mean to steal credit, just compiling. I just try and get a mix of road and home play calls. I meant cool moments to sprinkle in the middle of the dunks to fill time. Yeah, you can do this. Like, ask Mike or Greg. They take all kinds of clips and put them into their stuff. If I was better production wise, I might do that kind of stuff. But I'm an idiot when it comes to like anything technical on the computer. I'm stretching the limits of how much I know by getting on YouTube and doing these live streams, because it was a real learning curve for a while, and there's still stuff. Like, I'm trying to figure out Discord right now. And it is very much treating me like Snapchat did like a couple of years ago. I don't understand this shit, and what do you do with this and all this kind of stuff. So I need a Discord primer just on how to use it and what the best ways to use it, because I do want to get into it. But I'm going and looking at it and I'm like, what the fuck is this? How do I get this going? I don't know. I got to figure out Discord. That's the thing I got to learn myself very soon. All right, so yeah, we did the recap. We know the refs: John Goebel, Michael Smith, Matt Myers. Not the best ref crew, but hopefully it'll be all right. And then the injuries, we've gone over them already. All right, guys, let's just really watch them on the 3-point line. We can try and control Jimmy, but that's not usually very successful. Maybe that you got to let Jimmy just get Jimmys. And then the rest of the guys, you can maybe harp on or do stuff. If Fred shows up and he's able to guard Lowry, this could be good, because they're really good matchup. And it is so entertaining to see Fred versus Kyle. And I hope we get that tonight. They do not have a lot of big guys, so we really need to take advantage of that. And even with all of our injuries, we are still very much more big and imposing compared to their roster. And we need to capitalize on this, especially if Adebayo is not suited up to play tonight. And right now he is questionable. So we'll have to see where it goes this afternoon. All right, guys, thanks for joining me once again for another preview. We got to beat the Miami Heat. We do not want to go back to 500. We want to go up, and we want to put them back sub 500. That's what will happen tonight. We win tonight. Well, we go to, what is it? We go to 9-7. I think that's right. Isn't that right? 9-7. I got to look at the standings real quick. Hang on. We'll go to 9-7. Yeah, and they'll go to 7-8. And that's where we want them to be. We want them to be a losing team, and we want us to be a winning team. So I appreciate everybody. Have a great Wednesday, and be careful out there if you're driving. The roads are, snowy and a little dangerous, and just have a nice snowy afternoon in Toronto. And let's go Raptors. And please like, comment, subscribe, all that normal YouTube stuff. I thank you. And I'll be back tomorrow for the reaction. And I know I'll see a bunch of y'all there then also. All right, let's go. Let's get this W. No messing around. Let's just beat the Heat, y'all. Just beat them. Just beat them.